influence. So if we just look at ministers, how well the ANC did here, where in terms of how things should have broken down in terms of vote share, so the ANC coming in just under 40%. I think the final numbers from the IEC was something like 39% in the national election, the DA at 21%. If you look at the breakdown of minister positions, the ANC getting 20 of those, the DA is 6, and the IFP and the others. And then the DA, their vote share maybe should have been a bit higher. They should have gotten maybe 7 or 8 in the cabinet. We'll get to the ANC and the DA, but Marius, firstly on the IFP, I think played this quite well. And given the two positions that they have, including for their leader, Velenkosini Klabisa, cabinet portfolios that are quite closely linked with the management of municipalities, and trying to turn many of those around, as the Auditor General regularly highlights in her reports, the Office of the Auditor General, many municipalities around the country struggling. So if the IFP can play a strong role here to turn some of those around, maybe some reforms, sets them up quite well, I think, for the next local government elections, especially.
Yeah, I think especially Glabisa's post, which is Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, I think is the full title. I think that is an important one. And as you say, it could set them up well for 2026. I think the IFP and especially its leader, Velenkosini Glabisa, have come out of this pretty well, I think. He's also been pretty measured in things he said. He's been pretty statesmanlike. A week or so ago, he said it's time for the ANC and DA to, stop this fighting by positions and just let's start governing. And he's been very neutral in all this. So yeah, I think he's been pretty mature, and I think he'll have impressed quite a few people. And just on the DA's positions, the DA, I think they did get a bit shortchanged there, but I think the positions they did get, a couple of them are, they're difficult ones, but they're important ones. Basic education, home affairs, and so on. I mean, they're difficult portfolios. They're not something you can just fix in 6 months. But if you want to be in government, you're going to have to sometimes have to do the hard things. And I think the DA's got a very good opportunity now to show that what they can do. Obviously, it depends on a lot of things. If the DA ministers get the kind of support staff they need, and if there isn't, people trying to sabotage DA ministers, which I think is something we can't rule out. That's definitely something to still look at. And also, apparently, the DA has been pushing for Ashwa Surapin, who's the Deputy Minister of Finance, to be given kind of full cabinet privileges. And it seems that President Ramaphosa is open to that, as long as David Masondo, who is the second Deputy Minister of Finance, is also given those privileges. So the DA could have done a bit better out of this, but I don't think they haven't done absolutely terribly, I don't think. And as I say, I think some of the portfolios they got are very important ones, and they can do quite a lot with them.